All right, what's good, y'all? Episode 10. Long time coming. 10 all episodes. Crazy, I know. So, got a couple topics to start with. So, the first one is taxes.
Is what?
Taxes.
Taxes.
Taxes. That good old T.
Okay.
Yeah. Just not a general question, just a kind of shotgun, just taxes, just whatever comes to mind.
Well, I don't like paying them. They're I understand why they were made.
Right.
Okay, the beginning of the U.S. in 1776, there was no taxes. The thing about taxes is the fact that employees get taxed. Employers get paid less tax. And okay, ordinary income gets taxed. Passive income doesn't get taxed. So depending on where you are, makes a difference. Is that an elaborate look on your face?
Yeah, a little. Let me see. If you could make one change to employees paying taxes, what would it be? So instead of each person that gets a job, instead of them being able to individually elect how they choose to pay taxes or not pay taxes, what have you, if you could make one decision for all employees, what would it be?
Be a business owner. Now I gotta elaborate because you're okay.
No,
Here's what
okay,
yeah.
Good.
So give me a business owner.
Top of my head, Elon Musk.
Okay, Elon Musk. He's the CEO of what? Tesla.
Tesla, SpaceX,
SpaceX.
PayPal.
Okay, PayPal. Okay, so how many employees does he have?
A lot.
Okay, the government gives him a tax break because think about this. He doesn't get taxed that much because he's supplying jobs to thousands of people who are paying tax.
Right.
So if you're an employee, you're going to pay tax. Him being a business owner, you know what he gets to do? See, here's what it is. You work, correct?
Right.
You work for how many hours doing what and not. Then you get your paycheck, right? They tax you at the top and you get what's left, correct?
Right.
Elon Musk doesn't work that way. Elon Musk pays everything first. So he pays his employees, he pays all his employees, everything he does first. Then when he spent all that money, they tax what's left. An employee gets taxed first. A business owner gets taxed second because the government wants more business owners. So you become an entrepreneur, and depending on how you do your business, your tax varies because you don't pay tax like everybody else does because you don't have a job.
Right.
Jobs get taxed, businesses get taxed differently.
You think um would you rather live in a place that in a country and or a state that has taxes or that doesn't have taxes? Like I guess Florida.
Well, we'll go even better than that. So you live in California, which is the highest tax state, one of the highest tax state in the U.S.
Right.
Or you can go to Puerto Rico, which is a territory of the U.S., but they have no taxes, right?
Right.
Again, depending on how you make your money, will depend on how much tax you pay. Okay, I'm gonna give you a big example. You remember the Donald?
The what?
Well, before he was President Trump, he was the
Oh.
Donald, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how when he got in office, they wanted to see, he told Hillary when they were in a debate, Hillary attacked him because you don't pay taxes.
Right.
The way he makes his money, he doesn't work for it. His investments create money for him. Plus, he has high-powered attorneys that his CPAs keep him from having to do that. And it's not illegal. It's just the fact that the amount of capital that he has, he's able to afford that type of service.
Right.
So if you say, well, move somewhere, okay, let's go this way. I can move to a state that has no taxes, right? Like Puerto Rico, right? Or I can invest my money and buy I buy a housing complex that has 125 doors, right?
Right.
With a cap rate of about, let's go with 7% because interest is at 5%. So this apartment building is kicking me off about $200,000 a year. Okay.
Okay.
Am I paying tax on that money?
No.
Did I work for it?
Yes.
No, I invested.
Oh, like physically? Oh, no.
No, I did not work. I take my capital and invest it in a income producing property with cash flow. I pay no taxes on that because I didn't work for it. I set my money aside, invested in this property. It's giving me $200K a year. I didn't have to work for it. So how can the government tax it? I don't have a W-2. The W-2, right? It just every month when I go to my mailbox, all right. Jeez. So depending on how you make your money, depends on how your taxes come in. That's why all rich, wealth people like passive income, because you don't get taxed on passive income because you didn't work for it.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you like to, I can fry your brain a little bit more, but I think you're.
No, you're good. We got. Let's see where we at right now. We're only 10 minutes in. Yeah, give me one more.
On taxes?
Mm-hmm. As far as if you could choose one tax break, either 2 for the year, like 2 in the 6-month time frame, or 1 for 1 for a 12-month time frame or 2 for a 6-month time frame. Which tax break would you choose and why?
Tax break?
Yeah.
Be more specific.
I guess, like, from my understanding, tax break is when you, like, Actually, let me, because I heard tax break before. Tax break. Break. Tax break is known as tax. A reduction to the tax liability of taxpayers. So, okay. So I guess like writing off a house.
Writing off your house. Okay.
So if you had like something like that, what, and you could choose a tax break, what, either for a 12-month time period or 6 months, so January to July and then August to December. Which option would you choose, and what would the tax break be?
Inflation.
Okay. Why inflation, and are you choosing 12-month time period or 6 month time periods?
You can do either or. Because okay,
let's do 6 month time periods. So
two six.
The first one you're choosing inflation.
Yes.
So what are you choosing for the second one?
Inflation.
Both inflation.
Yes.
Okay, why?
You know what inflation is?
What we're going through right now?
Well, no. Do you understand what inflation is?
The price is skyrocketing?
It's a tax. Okay, here's what it is. Inflation is the government kicking money down the road, kicking the can to the next episode. So when you're like, well, what does that mean? It means that, okay, since the government can, quantitative easing, since the government is printing so much money, right?
Right.
And so they're not going to come and confiscate all the dollar bills and make them all the dollar bills become 75-cent bills, right?
Okay.
They can't do that. So what they do is that inflation goes up. So that $1 that you have, you can only buy 60 cents worth of product, right?
Right.
So they don't tell you that they're changing the tax. So you say, okay, it's only 8.3% tax on groceries, right? They're not going to do that. What? No, they're just going to make your money worth less. Keep the rate the same, but more. Okay. Do you know how much money the government has produced in the last 6 months?
That I do not.
Look it up. In the last 6 months, how much money has the government produced? Or printed, I guess would be the worst, but yeah. Okay, can a Federal Reserve print money forever? Okay.
That's a lot.
What's that?
It's the 6.9 billion notes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's printed basically $1.3 trillion out of thin air. So that's why investors say cash is trash, because they're not taxing you, because everyone in the country would vote no taxes, right?
Right.
How many presidents have been on the No more new taxes. No more new taxes. Right? They don't need new taxes. They print money, create inflation, and inflation is a tax on the middle class and lower.
Because it makes it harder to afford things.
Exactly. It's like now you see it's like this right now. $75 to fill my gas tank when it used to be 50. Right?
Right.
The more things cost, and they're going to blame it on a lot of different things. I know that there's supply chain issues and things of this nature. But what occurs is that if the Fed had to come, and the government had to come back to having it, I mean, they have a free check to print money all day long. So right now, as inflation goes, and as inflation continues to grow, because they say it's transitory, it's not, it's going to be there for a while. They're waiting for another event that they can put on to make it better. Because there's something else that's cracking me up that I was listening to.
Uh-huh.
Was that? This is a sidebar. Why is it that the war with Russia happened in the same time frame as the mass mandates in the U.S. came up?
Because the economy needs to keep booming. I feel like there's always something, because either something else is that's like the smoke screen for something bigger.
It's all a smoke screen.
So it's keep the smoke screen going to take attention away from other things.
That's correct. And I mean, okay, let's go this way. Well, you probably don't remember when Lehman Brothers fell, right?
No.
If we got to a point, when we get to the point where there's, unless there's another stimulus package, okay, or something that's going to stimulate the economy. Do you know what capitalism is?
I've heard it, but I'm not keen now.
Okay, with capitalist situation is the strongest wins. If you don't innovate, Steve Jobs, Apple, if you can't make your company competitive, it goes under, right? Well, in the last 2 years, Kmart. So like Blockbuster couldn't compete. When Netflix came out, they got buried, right? Survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest. So you get but when that happens, that free market cap prices are low because you're trying to generate profits for your company,
Right.
But when you have this thing where, as we see it now, lost my train of thought, so I'm trying to roll it back in.
You're good.
And I'm asking 5 questions. You only asked 1. All I can say is this: is the fact that right now, commodity prices are being held down because with what's going on in the world. Because at one point in time, back in the 70s, you could just look at the U.S. Okay. Now everything is global. You know what? Here's okay. Okay, let's go with this. How much? Let's go at China, Japan. How much property does Japan and China own in the U.S.?
A lot.
Was that a question or an answer?
Answer.
Okay. And China is good friends with Putin, right?
Right.
So that makes a whole big. So there's a lot of different things that are working in that realm, right?
Right.
Yes. Yes. So, like I said, it's a big macro thing because it's not just one country or one state, it's everything, right?
Right.
No, I mean, because independent, if you're a conspiracy theorist, because I try to stay away from those. Why are you laughing?
You try to stay away from conspiracies.
Well, yeah, okay. One conspiracy thing, it's like, okay. Um, COVID vaccines happen to be, uh, COVID vaccines happen to have a ingredient that was produced in the Moderna company that is under the Gates Foundation. Here's the thing. What is the name of that? What is the name of that? What is the name of the caucus? Oh, there's something I'm trying to research because I was told that there is a caucus or a meeting every few years with I'll have to find the podcast and send you a link. But these guys and Gates is part of it. It's all the billionaires.
I've heard about an elites meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Where they basically I listened to a podcast a couple of days ago and they're like, yeah, they're talking about the coronavirus and how they do it and how they do it. So it's like, okay, this elites group is running not just the country, they're running the world.
Right.
But I haven't done enough research to be able to speak on it intelligently. But, it's like, you start looking at, back in the days, what they say, follow the money, right?
Right.
And then Moderna was the first people to have the vaccine. And who is head of Moderna? This person. Who's Moderna report to? And have to the Gates Foundation. Who's getting paid?
Right.
All the money. But like I said, I haven't done enough research, so I will acquiesce because there are smarter people out there than me.
Okay.
So yeah.
So next one is, do you remember the last?
Nope. Nope. Your mom's here. You already had one. Yeah. Talk to your mom. For a minute.
What's I got it? So the last vacation you went on.
The what? What's that?
The last vacation you went on.
Yes.
Where was it to? What did you do, etc.?
The last vacation I went on. So last vacation I went on, we went to we stopped in Arizona. From Arizona, then we went to we made from Arizona to Colorado. We went to the Grand Canyon. Went to the there's a park in Arizona that has a lot of beautiful rocks and formations. And then we went to Colorado. At the time, my girl's brother, he was a chef, or he's a chef in Colorado. So Colorado being a being a skiing resort, we had to take the tram all the way up to his place. We came down, hung out there, and that's when I really found out what the difference altitude made. Meaning that we were there, it was sunny and 75. Okay. He told us that 2 weeks prior he had been not snowshoeing, but he had been cross country skiing at the campground we were staying at 3 weeks prior. Did not register. Set the tent up, everything was going great. Woke up, it was 35 degrees outside.
It's cold.
Yeah. And so after that, we made our way back. So with the Four Corners, you've heard of Four Corners, correct? So Four Corners, that is a spot where Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, New Mexico, Utah, Arizona. I can't think of the fourth state. At any rate, it's a place where all four states line up.
Okay.
So you step on this. What's that?
Said okay.
So if you're standing on Four Corners, you are in 4 different states at the same time.
Okay.
So went there, and it's lovely country. And being able to see that. Got kind of come a thunderstorms and whatnot, but it was a very nice time. And that's the last vacation that I went on. And then I'm going on a vacation in a couple of days. Get to go to the dirty. What the heck?
Okay. So the last vacation that I went on was Puerto Rico for Christmas. It was pretty cool. I liked it. The weather wasn't really sitting with me because it rained like all the time, but the different experiences and the things we got to do, the places we got to see was cool. I like that about it. That is probably what 1, 2, 3. The third place outside of the United States, the coastline. Like if I have to leave off the continent, even though Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, that's still the third place is outside the U.S. continents that I've been to. But it was cool. Definitely different. Being in a place where they speak mostly Spanish, and I mean, you have places that have English speaking people, but it's just like, going to certain places and I can only pick out certain words that they're saying. And we're at the gas station and I'm trying to pump gas. The dude's telling me, you have to lip up on this latch in order to get the pump off. So he's saying up, up, up in Spanish. And I'm like, I had no idea. So I'm thinking he's yelling at me. He's like, dude, you gotta lift up. You gotta lift up on the thing. I'm like, oh, my bad. I didn't know that's what you were saying. So it was definitely a culture shock, but it was good. And hopefully Hawaii next month. God, hopefully. But yeah.
Oh darn, they speak Hawaiian in Hawaii.
Yes, they do. But see, the place where I'm going, they also speak English. So I will have an advantage of both sides. So yeah.
No, different experiences, different cultures. It's a great experience. It's like so many people get caught in a fishbowl of the comfort zone of where they are.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, let me go see this. I want to go somewhere where I have no clue of what you're talking about and just hang out. You know what? If you got a cell phone, right? As long as you can charge it up, I can go Google translate. I need dinner, and it will do it, right?
Right.
But just to be in mankind, just to see something that's done here, see how other people live,
Yeah.
learn some new friends, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Expand your mind to more than what you know, because you think about it is if you look at it in a very so how long has the U.S. been in existence?
Hold on.
Oh my goodness. I blame the educational system on this one.
Uh, 246 years.
Was that
246 years.
okay?
Because 1776, right?
Well, we'll use that as a date, but
Okay.
okay.
So yeah,
how many?
246 years.
Okay, so let's think about this. We're gonna pull out a little bit, okay?
Okay.
So we've been in existence for 246 years, right? Um, Give me the date of the Ming Dynasty.
Uh, 1368 to 1644.
So when?
1368 to 1644.
And that is BC, correct?
Correct.
So how many years is that
No,
ago?
that's AD.
What's that?
That is AD.
What do you mean AD?
AD after death.
That's not what it means. But I'll give
That's not
it
what
to
it-
you.
Sorry. The term that I learned AD was BC and then AD.
Yes, and AD means
I always thought AD meant after death because BC is before Christ and then AD after death.
it's added domini, but I understand well, here's what I'm trying to say is this. Okay, we can go back to biblical times. Babylon, great city, correct?
Right.
Egypt, great city, right?
Right.
All I'm saying is this is that there have been great cities that have been here for far longer. We are the kid when it comes to the countries.
Right.
Because this Ming Dynasty ruled from 13 AD.
Right.
And how okay, and we were what and we were when we were when? Or 1776. So but they were gone before we even started.
Right.
So we are the youngest because it's just been the fact that everything started over there because Africa is the start of civilization. Or if you went with the big, no, I'm not going to be politically correct. I'm going to say Africa because Egypt is in Africa. So if you're going to go further back than that, what I'm saying is that, yeah. So that being saying is that there's a lot to be learned of the cultures because they've been here longer than we have.
Right.
There's things that there's things that Europe, the East, medicine is the biggest thing because they have stuff that would cure something, and we're still trying to go through pharmaceuticals. They're like, take this plant, drink this tea, and you'll be good.
Right.
Well, that's because they don't know about big pharma over there. But that's another conversation.
Okay. The third one was so I'm not sure if you're a baseball fan.
Okay.
Are you a baseball fan?
I watched the sport. I know the premise of it.
Okay. So you know about the lockout, and you know that the season, the spring training starting next month.
Know that, yeah, the spring training usually starts in the springtime. Yeah, that's what spring training.
Yeah. So
I didn't know anything about the lockout because just FYI, I very rarely watch the news because the news has a lot of propaganda and stuff that's negative. I don't like. I'm in my quan.
Right. It knowing you know what the Negro Leagues are.
Was that?
The Negro Leagues.
Of course.
Do you is there a player that you heard about from the Negro Leagues, and could you tell me something about them if you remember?
What is Jack Johnson? No, Jack Johnson was a boxer.
It's okay if you can't. I just thought to ask.
Well, no. There was a great movie that came out about the Negro League. Had Delroy Lindo in it. It had a whole cast of, and it was about it. It was the period before Jackie Robinson got signed.
Gotcha.
And it talked about how the league went. They flip flop players, and there's what, yeah, and I can't name a name.
Solve the Game.
Let's see. Yep, that was it. South the Page. Yeah. Darren Lindo. Yeah. That right there, and a young Blair Underwood. Yeah. Talked about the game of baseball and how they started and how they didn't have one team. They played because they loved playing the game. Because one of the batters in this one, I forgot what his name was. Slow down. I can't read that fast. There's a guy that played at that point who had more home runs. I mean, he got to the point where he'd get down and he had more home runs than anybody else. But because he was Negro at that time, they didn't count.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Josh Gibson. I think that was Josh Gibson. Let's see. So Harvey Mays was the father of Willie Mays. Yeah, Josh Gibson. Phenomenal batter.
Hall of Fame claims he hit 800 home runs in the league and independent baseball during his 17-year career. This figure includes semi-pro competition and exhibition games. According to Hall's official data, his lifetime batting average was 359.
So he had almost 800 home runs. There was a lot of great players there, but they could not play. And that's what, so you got Willie Mays. So then you got Willie Mays, right? No, not Willie Mays came later. Jackie Robinson was the first, right?
Right.
And you know what that was?
No.
Which is unfortunate. Well, then that doesn't say, hey, kid.
Oh, he's still alive.
That was Granny's favorite player. They figured that with all the controversy with all the Negro leagues and the unlearned, that they had to pick somebody who was not. All the older players got irritated when Jackie Robinson got picked to be the person to go into the majors. But if you look at the life of Jackie Robinson, it was no picnic.
Right. Okay. Leaping and diving catches before he was here. Oh, he started in the army. 2 years. Okay.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. You know, as with any sport, okay, let's go baseball. Since you've done baseball. You have to have the ability to be able to swing the bat on offense, but on defense, you gotta be able to throw a guy out, right?
Right.
I'm gonna use two people because they play both sports. So you have, let's go with Bo Jackson.
Okay.
When Bo Jackson threw out a player from center field, you have a computer? Look it up. That was a hell of a throw. God, I would have to be a Seahawk. I mean, I would have to be a Mariner. Okay. Play it?
I
would. That happened, right?
The copyright. So.
Okay. When you get a chance, check that out.
Yeah, I'll play it on the side though. Okay.
That's everybody.
He's at third. He's like basically like in the middle of third and hold on. He's in the middle of third and second and third. Wow. That's an arm.
And remember, Bo Jackson's a football player, right?
Right.
And he gutted him out.
Wow.
And there was no tag up. It was just him. And he just went boom. And next thing you know, you think the runner, I got this.
Right.
Bo's like, You don't know both. Boom. Yeah. So yeah, that play. There are so many plays out there. There's like all the names. There's what play where I can't think of his name right now. Center fielder, ball went over. He jumps over, throws his arm behind. So when you look at him, you see him basically held up by the partition. He pulls the ball out and is out. And the dude was like, and you hear him, how did he do that? Ken Griffey Jr. used to run up the center field lines all the time. What was his name? God dug it.
Trying to see if I can find it.
I think got pictures like Randy Johnson who blew up a bird. You heard about that, right?
Mm-mm.
No, he threw a pitch and the bird happened to go right in front of it. Bird versus baseball. Bird lost. Who was that? Who did that? To me, baseball was always it was always a boring sport because I didn't understand the intricacies of it. But then there's some plays that you're looking at and you're like, it's like I see one catch because I was sitting with my boy Jerome when we were watching the game, and this guy, he did a Superman. Okay, which one?
They're showing it.
Which one? The over the thing?
Where the bird gets killed?
Yeah.
They throwing it that fast? Holy!
Hey, Johnson, he had 100. He could do 100. Yeah. Go ahead and say it. Damn.
Wow. That's crazy. That bird literally just went poof.
Yeah. The average fastball is about 98 miles per hour. There was like a long time ago, there was somebody who broke into a house and they're talking about players and whatnot. And Randy Johnson just said, have you heard of Randy Johnson?
No.
Okay, they named him the big unit because he's a tall pitcher for the Mariners. He says, I sleep with a bucket of balls next to my bed. That's all I need. And he goes, if you have it, how would you like a 98, 100 mile per hour ball coming towards your noggin? You ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Oh, but no, there's been so many spectacular plays where you think you got it made, and this dude goes. Why is it not? What did they do? Oh, God, bless him up. Okay, there we go.
And they're just showing the highlight reel of great catches in MLB history. Some crazy catches.
Yeah, like I said, the biggest one was is like me and Mom were watching this one, and the ball And he goes, oh, that's because it was 2 people on base. Oh, that's 3 home runs. And that dude, you see him going, he's looking, and he didn't stop. He kept running, ran up center field, and he went like this, and he was called an ice cream cone. Came back and had the ball off. You there? What? I can't.
So Kansas City Royals, they're showing one catch where dude almost did he fell backwards, then he kind of like fell on his arm, but he caught the ball. Like he fell this like kind of like an Odell catch.
Yeah.
But then he let's see if I can see the replay. So he goes up and he catches it like this, goes forward, and then turns around when he's falling. So yeah, he did like an Odell Beckham catch, and then he landed forward and then flipped. It was weird.
There's a lot of that. You see him doing this.
Okay.
There's some plays you're like, ow, oh.
Two dudes are coming like and stay away from the ball, and this guy just sprints out the side, catches it, and does like this like side flip. Like, yeah, 2 people are running, and the guy just like literally just goes, it's like they're here, and the guy goes, wow. So you said Randy Johnson? Randy Johnson highlights. Okay. Randy Johnson highlights. That's what you're talking about. Let's see what team. Yeah. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep. Big unit. He's a pitcher for the Mariners.
Okay.
That was back in 96 when they won the pennant. Kennedy Gifford Jr. Yeah, they were on fire that year. Cora, Edgar. Only reason why I know it because that's all Granny played.
Yeah, I remember watching baseball a lot.
How fast can he those? How fast was his fastball?
Let's see. Oops. How fast? Pitch. 102 miles per hour. That's insane.
Could you imagine driving down the street and see a ball pass by you?
Well, we can go to end it there.
All right.
So yeah, this is episode 10, and been pretty good so far. So don't know, maybe we'll be back, maybe we won't. Never know. Over and out.